To be honest, it was my grandfather who kind of steered me towards it.
My father's a Marine, and my grandfather was in the Air Force, so military was always one of the options I had.
Both my parents work for the U.S. State Department. They're both since retired, and I have an older sister who's in the Coast Guard.
Members of the U.S. Coast Guard stationed in New London take pride in the uniform they wear. A common theme, coming from families with a history of service. For 20-year-old Hunter Sprock, this uniform has taken him across the globe, and finally, as of this month, back home.
I'm from Bethel, Connecticut, a little town on the other side in Fairfield County. Yeah, it's nice to be back home.
Being on a small boat like this and just being a member of the Coast Guard in general, taking their members from their small hometowns to places they never thought they'd go.
About a year ago, I was stationed on a 270 out of Kittery, Maine, and I got to go down south. I got to see Mexico, Cuba, Costa Rica, and that was refreshing for sure. Being a small town kid, going out and seeing the world 1 year after high school.
Sprock's not the only young gun on board. The commanding officer, the boss, if you will, for everyone on board the Cutter Albacore, is only 25. Being one of the new guys on board, Hunter Sprock recalls his first rescue mission.
You got the heart racing and it got you feeling, like I can't believe this is actually happening. But once you get in, you fall back on the training you received and what you know to be true.
To check out his area of command, we went down below.
As you can see, we're here in the engine room, which is basically in the very bottom of the boat. Crew members say in such a tight space like this, keeping things organized and in place is crucial.
Especially when you're rough seas, because you'll have buckets of oil flying over if it's not secured. So everything needs to be meticulously, once, twice, 3 times checked.
Back up top, we spoke of the values the U.S. Coast Guard instills in its members.
The Coast Guard has given me the confidence and the tools to assume that leadership role, and I appreciate the trust that they've placed in me.
Responsibility for sure, because here, being 20 years old, the stuff I have to deal with is on the same level as 25, 30-year-olds even. The guy I replaced was almost 30 years old.
Simply put, the U.S. Coast Guard is more than work for the crew members. It's a calling.
It's a good feeling when you come home. You know you were able to A, make an impact, B, potentially help someone out, C, serve your country. So it's a pretty good combination.
It doesn't matter if you're a member of the military, if you're a public school teacher, every little bit helps.
The mission of the U.S. Coast Guard is that you might not always come back, but you always go out, and the men on this crew live by that. Reporting in New London, Ben Goldman, Fox 61 News.